Part 2 of Funny Boy, a novel in 6 stories by Sham Selvadura. In part 1, I told you how Arji, the protagonist, feels that he is different from the other boys, and also how Arji's mama, Amma, and Arji's bua, Radha auntie, could not marry the men they love because of ethnic differences, the ethnic clashes between two races in Sri Lanka. The first one is Sinhalese, who are majority and Buddhist. The others are Tamils, who are minority and Hindus. Okay, in this lecture, I will talk about the last 3 stories of Funny Boy. So let's begin with story number 4, Small Choices. Well, there is a new visitor at Arji's house. Who is he? A young man named Jigan. He's the son of Appa's close but dead school friend. He comes to live with Arji's family and also to work with Appa's Colombo hotel business. Okay, before this, Jigan has a history of working with Tamil tigers and working under the Gandhian movement in Jaffna. Remember, I told you Jaffna, it's a city in the north in Sri Lanka. But now Jigan is here. He wants to work in the hotel business. But let me tell you, things are not good. He's facing trouble as the majority of the staff in the hotel is Sinhalese and they oppose Jigan. Now, some love flames are arousing because Arji, who is in puberty, immediately gets attracted towards Jigan. Okay, next. Now, police arrest Jigan in between this on charges of an assassination attempt, although he is soon released because he's proved innocent. Due to all this, few important things happen. First, Appa starts getting threatening calls. B. Appa's Sinhalese employees are angry and grow distant with him. And C. The locals attack Jigan and write death to all Tamil pariahs. Pariahs are outcasts on the hotel door. They write it, okay? Because of this, reluctantly, Appa fires Jigan, who leaves even without saying a proper goodbye. Yeah. Now, while Arjit understands Appa's dilemma, Appa has to choose between his family and he can't, he has to put his family up, right? So he has to fire Jigan. But somewhere Arji feels that Appa was unfair with Jigan. Okay, and we're done with story 4. Now, what happens in story 5? The name of it is The Best School of All. Appa finds some unusual change in Arji's behavior. Okay, let me tell you, Appa does not find Arji too manly. Okay, because of which Appa changes his school and puts him into a very strict school, which is called Queen Victoria Academy. And Appa thinks that this will force Arji to become a man. Why? Because the schoolboys here are athletic, hyperactive, and ethnicity oriented. They know which, if I'm a Sinhalese, if I'm a Tamil, they know it strongly in their blood. But RG is feeble. He cannot defend his Tamil schoolmates when they are bullied by a bully whose name is Salgado. So Salgado is a strong Sinhalese boy who bullies all the Tamil schoolmates, okay? And Salgado does it with the approval of the school's vice principal, Loka Bandara. Imagine. So Loka Bandara is also a Sinhalese and he, approves of Salgado bullying the other Tamil schoolmates. Yeah. Now again, the love scene. At school, Arji gets attracted to a jovial Shihan Soeza who defends him from Salgado. तो अभी कौन कौन मिले हमको इधर? Salgado, Lok Bhandara, and Shihan Soeza. Remember this Shihan, whom Arji is infatuated towards? Even Shihan is a Sinhalese. So Shihan is a Sinhalese and Arji is a Tamil. Okay, you should know this. Now, next, what happens? The school principal. His name is Black Tie and he's very strict. He punishes Shihan for, keeping long hair. And he calls Shihan and few other boys as the future ills and burdens of Sri Lanka. To make burden ho Sri Lanka pe. Black I told them and punished them vigorously. Now another character is introduced here whose name is Mr. Sundaralingam. He's the English and drama teacher in school. So Mr. Sundaralingam finds Arji very good at poetry recitation and he asks Arji to recite 2 poems for an upcoming school ceremony for black tie. And these poems are actually Black Tie's controlling speeches. He wants to keep a control over the school. So these speeches are converted into poems, and Arji is told to recite them in the ceremony. Okay. Now, Diggy, you remember Diggy, Arji's brother? Diggy warns Arji that Shihan is famous for having sex with other boys, which means he's a gay. One day, what happens? Shihan and Arji suddenly kiss each other. And that's just the start because afterward, they have sex in Arji's garage while playing hide and seek. Okay. Now, at lunch, Appa meets Shihan for the first time. And, parents have that sixth sense. So, yes, Appa clearly dislikes Shihan. After this, Arji definitely feels very guilty. He feels that Shihan has corrupted him. But at the same night, he dreams about Shihan. And he also worries that why Black Tie pesters Shihan so much with punishments. Why Black Tie is always after Shihan. So to save him, Arji makes a plan. And what is the plan? What did Arji do? Something very bad, okay? Instead of dutifully reciting his poems, during Black Tie's ceremony, he purposely messes them up. Okay? He says all the poem, he composes them in a wrong manner, he speaks them in a wrong manner, and he messes the ceremony of Black Tie. And later he tells Shihan, Shihan, I did all this for you. Clearly indicating that I love you. And this brings us to end of story number 5. And we are at the last story of Funny Boy, which is called as Riot Journal and Epilogue. It basically consists of journal or Arji's notebook during the 1983 Tamil Sinhala riots that ultimately turned into the Sri Lankan Civil War. Like first they were just chota mota riots, but they became so intense that they turned into the country's civil war. Okay, so this is basically, I'm reading everything from Arji's journal now. Okay. So all this has happened. We're reading Arji's journal. Yeah. What happens now? What happened as I'm reading through it? Arji learns that Sinhalese mobs are burning down Tamils' homes and businesses in Colombo. So Sinhalese have opened fire against the Tamils. They are killing them. They are breaking down their houses. They are burning their cars. And unfortunately, a mob comes and burns down Arji's house, much to his horror. Now, because their house is burnt, they hide at two people's places. First, at their neighbor's house, who are called the Pereiras, and second, at their family friend's house, Chitra auntie and Sen uncle. Okay, but Sen uncle started receiving threatening phone calls from people who accuse him of helping Tamils. Okay, so obviously, uncle says that you have to leave my house. In between this, Arji has an uncle living in Canada, Lakshman uncle. Lakshman uncle calls them and tells them that please apply for refugee status and come to Canada. Canada will accept you as a refugee, as an immigrant. Come and settle in Canada. So the family initially is a little reluctant, but later they actually, apply for the passports secretly. Because let me tell you, in Sri Lanka, even the government was not opposing these riots. The government was also Sinhalese minority, sorry, majority. Because of being a Sinhalese majority, the government was doing nothing to stop these riots. So Tamils were in a very, very bad state of affairs. And, to add fuel to the fire, to add horror to the trauma, Amachi and Apache are burned alive in their car. They are murdered brutally. So the family leaves for Canada. But what do we read? Just before leaving for Canada, Arji meets Shihan for the last time, only to realize that they have emotionally drifted apart, only to realize that Shihan was Sinhalese and I was not. This is what Arji feels. And in his last journal entry, Arji expresses his distress when he visits his burnt out house for the last time and he's in tears. I have goosebumps. Why is the world divided on race, caste, class? Why are we not united as human beings? You have the same blood as me. You have the same eyes as me. We are creators of nature. Please don't fight based on your caste and sex and religion. Please, it's a request. We are the future generations of this world. So keep it in your heart, because as charity begins from home, even change begins from home. Be open minded, accept everyone as equal. Yes? Thank you so much. This is Hina from Team Test. It was lovely being with you. Bye bye.